Now here's the part of the show we simply call In Case You Miss It. It's a chance for you to look back at the magic and the mystery of horse racing here in British Columbia from the Sport of Kings perspective, in case you missed it. Tomorrow here at Hastings Racecourse, they'll be running the Chris Loseth Stakes. It's worth $50,000. It is named in honor of the jockey you're going to be watching right now. We shot this piece a few years back. It is our journey into this wonderful career of Chris Loseth. Enjoy.
The Hastings riding career of Chris Loseth spanned over 30 years and 25,000 races. The Sport of Kings has followed Chris's career since our first show back in 1992.
I think that when I was younger, I tended to override some horses because I was very aggressive and tried a little too hard, but as I'm getting older, you get a little smarter and you slow down a little bit. Oh, they all say I'm too aggressive, but they all want me on their horses.
Do you remember the day you weight races?
It's just, something I'll never forget, Tom. It's probably I'll never equal that again.
What makes a good rider?
Well, there's probably only about 2 lengths difference between a good rider and a bad rider, the worst rider and the best rider. Also, you got to have the smarts to place your horse in a position where he can win during the running of the race. If my body stays fit and I retain the desire, I'm going to make this last as long as I can.
And then in 1996, Chris passed the 3,000 win milestone.
That was a great day. It was for Henry Miller Jr. and it was a milestone, and there wasn't too many riders that ever reached 3,000, so it was a touching moment. And I think they made a little bit too big a deal out of it, as far as making the presentations to me and stuff, because I thought there was a lot left in the tank.
We met with Chris again in the fall of 2005, and he looked back on a terrific career.
It was a great ride. It was a lot of fun. I was lucky to be associated with great people. I've been married to a wonderful woman, and that was a great help. I mean, I just was really lucky to be associated with the right people when starting out that really got me rolling.
And with so many victories, Chris did have a few favorite horses that he rode.
My favorite horses to ride were Police Inspector, Traveling Victor, and Delta Colleen.
Give us a quick synopsis. Police Inspector.
Oh, just amazing ability. Like when he turned it on, his feet rattled as fast as any horse I've ever been on. I mean, he didn't have a tremendous stride. It reminds me a lot of Notice Otis. Never seemed like he was really going anywhere, but sure went fast when he went there.
Traveling Victor.
Just a very consistent horse. He could drop his head into the bridle and keep running and click off 24s forever. So he was fun to ride. Always lugged in a little bit, made you work a little bit riding him, but still was running underneath you.
Delta Colleen.
Oh, she was a real pleasure. It didn't matter what you did. She didn't run until she was ready, and then you just held on for the ride. Anybody could have rode.
In 2002, Chris was awarded the Avelino Gomez Award for his contribution to riding in Canada.
It meant an awful lot to me, Tom, because you're selected by your peers, and that was a big piece of recognition from people that I respect. That was a touching moment for me. Actually, that's probably the most choked up I've ever been as far as an acceptance speech for something. Like, that was pretty tough to get through.
Fast forward to Sunday, June 12, 2005, and Chris's decision to call it a career.
I won the first race on April Foolish, and I went to Mike after the second race, and I said to Mike, don't bother getting any mounts for next weekend for me, because this is it. I'm done. This is my last day. And then Mike actually talked to the stewards and the management, and let Dan JOCKEY know, and they called me up and asked if they could make an announcement. This was my last day, and I said, that's fine if you do that, but you have to wait till I'm on post break for the last race. And so they respected my wishes, and that's what happened. And actually, that was a very emotional time for me, Tom, because I'm on post braid, and Dan says this is out of the blue, says this is Chris's last ride, and a great career and everything like that, and actually the whole grandstand went silent. Like there was not like you couldn't hear a pin drop in the place, and then the place erupted and everybody applauded for me. But it was like a minute of silence while everybody let it sink in. So I thought that was a lot of respect they showed for me. So that was very emotional. So I told Sid out when I was coming back. I said it was kind of
Sid Martin, who you rode his last mount.
I said it was very emotional. I said it kind of brought tears to my eyes. He says, "Well, as bad as that horse run, you should have had a lot of tears in your eyes."
A couple of weeks later, Hastings holds Chris Loseth Day in honor of a Hastings legend.
To celebrate the career of this recent retiree, Hastings held Chris Loseth Day. This was racing fans' chance to say goodbye to one of the province's most long-standing jockeys.
Well, it's a huge honor. Actually, it's maybe not even deserved. All I did was my job out here, 31 years, and I wouldn't have done anything different. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. I think everybody's having a good time today, though, and there's sure a lot of bold faces that have come out and to say goodbye to me and congratulate me, and so it's been a wonderful day for me.
Now here's a follow-up to that in case you missed it part of the program. Despite all of his success, Chris Loseth and his wife Tracy can still be seen every morning working at the barn doing a job that they love.